Problems. Motor won't stay running. But we got it to run and we got back. Okay guys, I've got to say this. I am pissed off. I'm thinking it's the ignition switch.
So right out of the gate here, I'm going to show you two videos, okay? Two separate noises. The first one is what started this entire event with my motor on my Tracker Pro team. And then it kind of just spiraled from there. The second one is the most important one, I think, that started a lot of big problems for me. Give them a watch and then we'll talk about it after. So I tried to document some of the process throughout the summer. It's been kind of tough not having the boat out, and it ended up costing me a good chunk of money by the time it was all said and done. Okay, so let's go over the first issue. I'll just read what the work order says here. So the description was, check for exhaust leak, gets worse with RPM. So as you accelerate, makes the noise. So the resolution here, they checked the lower end, found a metal plate was missing in the impeller housing, causing a loud exhaust. Impeller housing had some wear, and they replaced the impeller kit and put a new plate in. I don't know what this plate is. So the missing plate and replaced the complete water pump assembly. So that was the original noise. It had to do something with the water pump assembly. And I'm assuming that that plate was missing because I know there's people that like to work on their own motors and stuff. Because I bought the boat used, that could have been very well the chance that somebody did some work on it and didn't replace that plate. So that's what that noise was. So they replaced it. And guess what? The noise was gone. And it seemed to run extremely well.
All right, moment of truth, man. About that. She sounds really good too. She's running nice.
Then we get down to the second video, the motor issue number 2. So I ended up bringing it back. Okay, let's go to work order number 2. Motor keeps on stalling, chugging, but throughout the day then it starts acting up. So as the day progressed, the motor would start running awful, as you've seen. Their diagnosis of it was the voltage regulator. And I got it right here. There you go. So this bad boy right here was causing all the problems. So what the mechanic told me is that when you're running the motor, what ends up happening is it discharges the battery. So as the day goes on, the battery obviously gets really low. So when I hooked up the battery charger at the end of the day and noticed that it was really low, this was the main reason why. So the battery was getting discharged instead of charged.
You can see the charge now. This was the problem before. I'd plug it in and it would take forever. Look at this, the batteries are already up to green and it's been not even a minute yet. I didn't use the trolling motor today, so the trolling motor battery is pretty much topped up. And look, fully charged on the one. And the other one is got to be the cranking battery, and it's practically charged. So That's one way to tell right there. If your batteries are really low every time you come back from being out on the water and you see, like, you plug it in, you're like, wow, why is this so low? You know, you're looking at the charging meter there and looks like it's pretty much dead. Probably because your voltage regulator screwed up.
So now I'm not having any issues when I get back with the batteries. Problem fixed. Voltage regulator. So this thing can cause you a lot of grief, man, let me tell you. You know, at the end of the day, I ended up, even with that voltage regulator replaced, they also ended up changing out the plugs. And yeah, they're pretty bad. And another filter. And the motor runs really good.
The motor is running, and it seems to be running pretty good.
So I got all this stuff fixed just in time to get it on my trip, and I took it out for some testing as well before I left on my trip. And everything was running great. So going on my vacation, I took it out, ran great. Right out of the gate, she ran great. And then later in the day, another problem surfaced.
I've got to say this, I am pissed off. The motor won't start. I'm going to say it's probably the ignition switch. And I say this because I've had to replace one on my previous tracker, and everything seems to match up the same.
So I'm so mad. I'm on vacation. My boat's screwed up again. So a friend of mine says to me, well, why didn't you just take the cord out from under the hood of the motor and just manually start it? And I was like, totally feeling like an ass here. Let me show you in case somebody doesn't know that. It's right there. See that? I could have manually started this thing. So here I am out on the island, and I just left it grounded because I needed to order a switch. I didn't have the tools to fix it, and I wasn't going to bring it in and pay huge bucks to get it done when I knew I could get an ignition switch off of Amazon. So I just reordered. I went back in my orders, found the ignition switch I ordered for the first boat, reordered another one, and replaced it myself. It's an easy process. And I may make another video on it, but I've already got one that I made on the first one, that now that I have everything fixed, the boat's running great. I've had no other issues. I took the boat up north with another buddy of mine. We did a few days up north, and it ran great. I didn't have no problems. And I'm telling you, that's what I expected from the boat, to run like that. I wish I was a little more well-versed in motors, but I'm not. So could I do things? Sure. With some direction, I can figure things out and fix it. As much as I had a lot of great comments from people, I would never have figured this thing out on my own. But anyways, that's a wrap on the video. I'm glad I could share this with you. If you have any comments that you'd like to share, throw them down below. I hope that I've helped some of you out with this. And until next time, guys, as always, take care and tight lines, my friends.
Well, guys, if it's not one thing, it's another. I just had to boost my truck. Yes, the truck died when I was going to go and back up the boat back into the garage. So I guess I'm off to go get a new battery for the truck now. I tell you, man, vehicles just piss you off, eh? Anyways, so far, boat motor looks like it's doing good. But if I'm going fishing tomorrow, I got to get that battery replaced. So let's go.